You're listening to ARTCAST from our studio in Sofia, Bulgaria.
Hello dear listeners of ARTCAST Radio. I am Plamen and today's podcast will be all about traveling. Today we're going to meet with Stanislava, who is a friend of mine and she is very passionate about traveling. So let's hear what she has to share with us.
Hi guys, I am Stanislava and today I'm talking with my friend and colleague Plamen, and he's asking me some questions about traveling and what I did, and I hope you like it.
Hey Stanislava, you've been all around the world, and can you tell me the first place that you went outside Bulgaria?
Plamen, hello. Yes, I remember very clearly the first time that I went out of Bulgaria, and it was I was actually in England, and it was from school. It was like a trip that you win, and it's a little competitive, and you gotta prove your English skills, your communicational skills, and so on, and then the English teacher decides who to go. And me and my best friend back then, we were selected to go.
Great.
Yes, and we were in London for 2 days, and then we went for 5 days in Wales, which is an amazing country. And then we stayed in some families, in some native families, and it was like, honestly, it was amazing experience for me because of many reasons. Yeah.
That's great, and probably you were maybe only 15 years back then, so it was probably an amazing experience for you, and it was something very new and very interesting to experience at such a young age.
Yes, actually, then I decided that a person can learn most of traveling, and that you learn most when you travel and when you meet new people. And we were many people from different countries, and every day we did something different. And yeah, it was definitely that's how everything started.
Great, an amazing first experience.
Yes, I was lucky, and thanks to my best friend back then, because she was like really like ambitious to go, and I was like, okay, we are going together. You're not going without me.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, and what can you tell us about the last place that you went?
The last place that I visited was Latvia, and it was a forest camp. It was a camp about developing your qualities, and actually like team building and so on. And it was like a rough experience because the camp was vegetarian and vegan mainly. And we all needed to sleep on the floor in one room together, and we needed to share our food. We needed to do a lot of crazy things. For example, they put some music and you're like, now make a party without any drugs or alcohol, super clear, everything, just like they put the music and you start dancing, and it was really, and it was like really cool experience for me because you know, I've never needed to think that you have, for example, one bowl of food and you gotta share it for 25 people, and yeah, and we slept on the floor. We did a lot of hikings. And yeah, Latvia was my last trip.
It sounds like a survival camp where you have to find your own food, to cope with friends, to share with friends. So it sounds really interesting and beneficial for your character.
Yeah, actually, when they met us, they were like, "Now we give you a map, and with this map, you gotta go and find the hut. like without using any mobile phones. And they were like, the path is like 3 hours by walking, and it took us like 8 hours.
8 hours only to find the hut.
Yes, exactly, and it was raining for most of the time, and I was with jeans, was super unprepared, and yes, so 8 hours in the walking, and we were in front of the hut like after midnight, and then we understood that the shower is like with fire. We gotta put the sticks just to have hot water. Constantly, like you are in the last century. Yeah.
But it sounds like a really interesting and memorable experience because at what other time and at what other place you will get soaking wet from walking at the rain 8 hours long?
I don't wish this to anyone. But yeah, except this, it was like really grounding experience because like a survival, survival camp. Yeah.
And can you tell me the most exciting things for you in a foreign country?
I'm always exhilarated about the architecture and the museums and the cultural aspect of the country. Of course, I always try to communicate with native people, and I just like to hear more facts about the country, how they live. Like when I'm in another country, I try to learn like as many facts as possible about their way of living, and but I love the museums. Like it's amazing because everything is just like put out there, and you can go and see it. And historical museums, art galleries, like every museum. It's interesting to me.
So you prefer more of the cultural aspect of the visitation in another country than the more commercial one? For example, you would go to a museum instead of go to a fancy restaurant.
Oh yeah, of course I want to find. It's always interesting to me to try the food and to know what they prefer to eat and so on. But it's just like I don't like to spend money on fancy restaurants because usually, especially in Europe, they're really expensive, and because I travel a lot and I'm not able to afford to sleep in the best hotels or I just go there and I sleep in hostels, and most of the times I even eat from the supermarkets, and the most basic things. Even many of the times I haven't tried anything native because usually I don't visit restaurants because I prefer to save money and to go and buy another plane ticket,
Yeah, and yet again you managed to see so different places, museums, art galleries, and so on.
Yeah, I prefer, if I have 10 euro, I prefer to spend them in a museum than to go and to eat somewhere.
It's the best choice.
I don't know, there's no wrong or right.
Do you have a dream destination, and if yes, can you share with us?
Yes, I definitely have. My dream destination is Iceland. And the ironic thing is that now I was in Rhodope and I met there one girl from Iceland, and I was talking so much with her about Iceland and everything there, and I was like, this is a sign, like this is definitely a sign, and I'm visiting Iceland as soon as possible. And Iceland definitely.
So Iceland is your dream goal, dream destination.
Yeah. It's an island, and it's like the beauty's there, and the scenes there, the scenery there, the coldness there, everything there. I find it amusing. I'll go there.
And probably the nature will be the most interesting for you there.
Exactly. That's the main reason that I want to go.
Great. So I wish you that you go there as soon as possible.
When the moment is right.
You mentioned Rhodope Mountains. Can you tell us more about your experience there?
Actually, I love the mountains everywhere. and especially our mountains, because I really feel at home. And Rhodope or Rhodopa, it's just like it's magical. This is definitely one of the most magical mountains in Bulgaria, because it's not that high to be climbed, but it's just like the sceneries are constantly changing, and you walk through forests, through deep forests, and for me the mountains are like home. And of course I just go in the mountains as much as possible. For example, this month I have spent in the mountains like over a month.
Over a month in the mountains?
Yes.
Great.
Yeah. And now I'm going again. Going again, yeah. In another mountain, but yeah, I'm going again.
Did you have the chance to see the wonderful bridges, or as they call it in Bulgaria, Чудните мостове?
Yes, it's just like there are these places in Bulgaria that can always amuse you, because they're always different. Like you have the mountains, you have the sea. For me, Bulgaria is like the perfect country, and it's like always I like to travel most in Bulgaria. It's just like I'm always fascinated by Bulgaria, and like one Bulgarian writer said. Get to know the country in order to love it. So that's why I'm trying to travel a lot in Bulgaria.
So Stanislava, have you ever been on an Erasmus project?
Yes, I have been to few Erasmus Plus projects, and it's really cool, because when you travel, you're not usually travel by your own and with your company, but when you're on a project, you're alone with people that you don't know, and actually this can get you out of your comfort zone for sure. And yes, I've been in Slovenia for Erasmus project, in Hungary, in Denmark, and in Sweden. Yes. And yes, it's really cool to go to Erasmus Plus projects. I recommend to everybody to do it at least once, because it's worth it, and most because of the people that you meet, because there you are not that able to travel that much, but the people that you meet makes it all. Yeah.
Great advice.
Yeah.
And now it's time for our musical break, and once again we're going to hear the inspiring Bulgarian band SoulBMoll and their song "В този ред на мисли."
Не бързам и мисля колко красиво би било да бъдеш с мен. Този ред на мисли май побъркаш се по тебе съвсем. Днес вървя, не бързам и мисля с тебе ще прекарам този ден. Трябва ли да тръгваш? Няма да те пусна за момент. Аз и ти създаваме красиви моменти. Мислиш ли, че заедно ще стигнем далеч? Любовта не се измерва в проценти, а в чувствата, споделяни всеки ден. Знаеш ли какво ме побърква? Която ти ми дава всеки ден. И не смея да си мисля, че може някой да те вземе от мен. Знаеш ли какво ме побърква? Че може да те няма някой ден.
започвам да си мисля.
Искам винаги да бъдеш до мен. Аз и ти създаваме красиви моменти. Мислиш ли, че заедно ще стигнем далеч? Любовта не се измерва в проценти, а в чувствата, споделяни всеки ден. Аз и ти създаваме красиви моменти. Мислиш ли, че заедно ще стигнем далеч? Любовта не се измерва в проценти, в чувствата, споделяни всеки ден.
Thank you SoulBMoll for this amazing track. You can listen to SoulBMoll on their YouTube channel or check them on Facebook. You spent half of your last year in the university in Poland. So why did you decide to do this?
I mean, why not? First of all, this is a really. It gives you an option to understand a different culture better. I will have the chance to meet people from all around for sure, and why not? That's my question. It's just like it gets all of the benefits of traveling, but on a deeper level because you have more time to get into how they work, and for me also this is like an opportunity that I would love to have. And even without thinking, usually I'm like, I have the opportunity to go, I'm just going. That's all. I don't think that much at first. Of course, I thought about it when I was writing my motivational letter, but at first I'm like going straight, just like I have the opportunity, I gotta take it, and that's all.
I have the opportunity, so I have to do it. I have to make use of it. And just to clarify for our listeners, this is for an Erasmus project, which will give you the opportunity to spend half of the semester that you're studying in a foreign country, which is another great opportunity to travel, to meet new people, to meet a new culture, and to gain new knowledge.
Yeah, exactly. And actually they give you a scholarship, which is it depends in which country you are, but yeah, they give you that scholarship and you can live comfortably there without any worries, and it's super comfortable and convenient, and I also recommend to people to do it because now I read one book which says that it's really important to have at least one degree from another country, and this Erasmus thing, it gives you a degree that you have studied there.
Another great opportunity that Erasmus provides. What can you tell to the people who want to travel but they haven't got the chance yet?
The chance is something that if you seek, you will find. You will definitely find what you're looking for. and just go and for example, I'm subscribed for Wizz Air and for Ryanair, and they always send me when they have promotions. And yesterday they had minus 20% flights to Poland, for example, and I'm like, okay, I'm interested in that because I gotta buy tickets anyways. So yeah, and there were for everywhere there's so cheap flights. It's just like you gotta plan it in advance, and you gotta, if the money are the obstacle, then you gotta plan it really in advance, and you gotta stay in the cheapest hostels. But that's not a big obstacle, because you can save the money and you can travel like light and with no luggage, and it's still possible. All that you need is like courage to do it, desire to do it, and the world is open now. It's like really pro traveling.
And as you said, it's better to stay in a hostel instead of a fancy hotel, for example, and eat from the supermarket instead of a restaurant, just to save money and go to another place to visit a museum, an art gallery. It's much better to save money for traveling while you travel.
Exactly, and I've been to really cool hostels and to really bad hostels, but still that's not the big thing, because you only sleep there, and your main reason is to go and to visit and to explore and so on. And actually, I stay in the big cities not that much time, because they're more expensive. I like to, for example, Bulgaria is not Sofia. You know, when I'm in another country, I go and visit other towns, and they're cheaper than the capital. For example, if you visit Koprivnica, it's way more like for the soul and more beautiful, and it's cheap. So yeah, I don't stay in the capitals that much also.
Exactly, and in the end of the day, what you remember is that you've seen these wonderful places, and not that you've been in a hostel, even though it maybe wasn't that great to be in this hostel, but you wouldn't remember that. You will remember the wonderful things that you saw in this country.
Yeah, exactly. And now we are young, and like I am in my 20s, and I'm 21, and I don't think that at this age is like really important to be where is like the best, you know. It's just like for everything there is time, and if you don't do this when you're 21, and if you don't sleep in like I've been in like I did couch surfing a lot of times, which is not even, you know what couch surfing is. So if you want, you always can find a way. It's just like you need courage, and yeah.
Thank you for this great advice, and I hope that more people will have the courage and guts to start traveling.
Exactly.
And speaking of traveling, I want to ask you about your mother country, about Bulgaria. What are your favorite places to spend time here?
Like, if you say what is your favorite place on the planet, on the globe, like I would still choose Riva Mountains, 7 Riva Lakes. Yeah, even if it's compared to like a global comparison, it's still 7 Riva Lakes, Riva, the whole Riva. It's just like the place where I feel at home the most, honestly. And yeah, 7 Riva Lakes, definitely. Definitely my favorite place on the world.
Do you have a favorite lake amongst the 7 ones?
Yes, I have it. It's called Съзерцанието, and this is like the lake of silence. When you are there, it's like the best for you to go and not to speak, which is like so hard for me, because usually I'm talkative. I'm always searching for someone to speak with, and yeah, it's like most difficult for me to do it. Like, for example, just staying there 2 hours and not saying a word, but it's like worth it. Yeah.
If you can only pick one thing for example, the city or the mountains, what would it be?
Definitely. Is this a question? Definitely, I would always prefer like the mountains. The thing is that I study, I work, and so on, and like the life is always spinning around in the cities and especially in the big ones. But my goal is like to get out in the mountains and like to go in the city only for food and yeah. I just adore the mountains and I can imagine myself living there. Although I like dresses, I like makeup, I like just being in the city and to wear your new dress and just to go around and everything nice here, and still the mountains are like the place for me.
Yeah, I get what you mean. For example, if you ask me the same thing, what would I pick, the city or the mountains? It will be a lot more difficult for me because I am really a city person,
Yeah.
and I've always been in the city. I adore the city. I adore the crowded places. Even though sometimes, you can get a headache for walking around the city and seeing so many people. But the mountains are the place where you can run away from everything, where you can just relax, just enjoy the nature.
You can always do it on the beach. There are some beaches that they're empty, and this is if I go, for example, on the seaside, I'm going on a place where there are not a lot of people and it's normal to choose the city because just look, compared to the sea and to the mountains, most of the people go to the seaside. And it's just like not for everybody because in the mountains it's rough. You don't have food, you don't have even where to wash yourself. You don't have these spoiling things that are here, and it's rough. I mean, it's really rough because last year I stayed 2 weeks in the mountains, and I gotta admit that my plan was to stay there like at least 3 weeks, but it's just like so hard. It's like really hard, and yeah.
You couldn't manage to stay there for more than 2 weeks, yeah?
I can. It's just like a matter of I can.
Yeah, it's probably the mentality of everything. And probably that's why I would prefer the city and just go in the mountains for a couple of days. Just for a couple of days will be ideal for me.
Yeah.
Okay, and for final words, what will you wish to our listeners?
Guys, if you have the possibility to get out of your comfort zone, for example, go and study abroad, and then of course never forget to come back. Or if you have like a possibility to see another country, just go. The most important thing is if you travel. Just if you can to travel. If you have the possibility, go and travel, even if it's in Bulgaria, even if it's like 1 hour away from home, no matter where, just go and see new things.
Thank you for this great advice and this amazing interview.
Thank you.
The project is carried out thanks to the financial support of the European program Erasmus+, KXG2, Capacity Building in the Field of Youth.